Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I would like to thank the organizer because of you. I can share my experience, my company experience in Indonesia. And I hope that during my presentation, you can learn from our experience. My name is Mugiono. I'm from Indonesia on behalf of PGN LNG. PGN LNG is a part of PGN. PGN is a part of Pertamina. I would like to share the experience that already done in Indonesia. Our topic now is deploying offshore LNG infrastructure effectively for inter-island distribution. My reason why we present this onshore LNG infrastructure, because typically between Philippines and Indonesia is similar. What I know in Philippines consists of about 10,000 islands, and Indonesia almost more than 10,000 islands, so typically the same. Well, from the geographical challenge between Philippines and Indonesia has the same challenge, and since we are neighborhood, so we hope that from our experience can contribute to the Philippines solution. This is Indonesia archipelago, and this is Philippines archipelago. So we live in the same area. What Pak Mahes yesterday explained, one of the challenges is Indonesia. I think not only Indonesia but also Philippines. This is that our government, Indonesian government, aim to integrate the gas infrastructure through the small-scale LNG. As you may know that if we can separate or divided the area of Indonesia within three areas, western part, central part, and eastern part. Most of the LNG source is coming from central and eastern part. And unfortunately, the gas infrastructure exists in western part. So we have challenged, especially in Indonesia, how to integrate the infrastructure from the LNG source to the market demand. In terms of the volume, in the western part is about 50 mm². In the western part also about almost the same, and also in the eastern part also almost the same. But the challenge is here, especially in the central and in eastern part. And how to optimize the infrastructure is one of the big challenges in Indonesia. And I hope, and I'm sure that also in Philippines as well. Well, talking about LNG in Indonesia, as you may know that Indonesia has a long history as LNG exporting from Bontang, and nowadays also from Tangguh. The other one, unfortunately, this is already committed from DS LNG that's located in Sulawesi. And before that, Arun LNG is exporting terminal, but since about 5 or 4 years ago, Arun LNG became importing terminal. And the other one, this is a floating storage. The first one is FS Halim Jawa Barat, that's located in Jakarta Bay. And the other one is the new one, is FS Halim Lampung, that located in southern part of Sulawesi. And the last but not least, it is that small-scale solution start in Indonesia is start from FSRU Benua in Bali. Talking about the capacity of the receiving terminal, that one is about 400 mm², and for number 5 and number 6 is about 75 mm², and for Bali is about 30 mm². So the total is about almost more than 1,000 mm² for receiving terminal. And start from February or early this year, PGN is become one of the members of Pertamina. So talking about the LNG supply, we support by Pertamina to provide the LNG supply. As you may know that Pertamina not only has the supply from the domestic, from Indonesia, but also from overseas. Well, this is how we approach to give the best solution in Indonesia, talking about the small-scale LNG. One of the solution is point-to-point. Like in Benua Bali, is a point-to-point solution. The gas is coming from Bontang and transported into Bali, and those in Bali using for power generation. And the other one is hub and spoke. What PLN do to provide the infrastructure is using a hub and spoke, especially for the central Indonesia. The gas is coming from Bontang, and initially some hub located in South Sulawesi, and from South Sulawesi distributed into cluster area around Sulawesi and also around Nusantara. It is demand commitment plays important role for small-scale distribution. You can see here, bigger demand, more competitive. This is one of the proposal solution to Philippines that at the end of our presentation at will be presented. And also for the ship or terminal, you can see here the comparison or the ratio between US dollar per MMBtu to demand. So bigger demand, it will decrease the US dollar per MMBtu. Well, this is the current tender that already in process that PLN have. One of the project named Gorontalo project, FSRU Gorontalo project. Gorontalo is in northern of Sulawesi. The scope of the project is providing the FSRU, small scale FSRU. The volume is about 15,000 cubic meter. On the scope, the LNG is coming from Bontang and transported into Gorontalo, where the Gorontalo now power generation is already in operation. This is the example that we propose to the government, and also PLN also have the tender process for the, we call Bubble Ponti project. Maybe from Osaka Gas also participate in that project. The gas is coming from, could be from Bontang or coming from this FSRU to serve those demand, Bangka Belitung and Pontianak. And the other one, the way we approach to the demand, especially in the western part, is we utilize for those two FSRU, Nusantara Ligas, located in Jakarta Bay, and the other one is FSRU Lampung here, to serve in this demand. this is what now we plan to distribute the LNG in western part of Indonesia. Well, this is what we propose to Philippines market or Philippines demand. We want to utilize from LNG source in Bontang as a hub, because Bontang also as a LNG producer here. We can utilize from Bontang to serve the Philippine island. In terms of the distance, I think it's not quite far. What yesterday mentioned by Isaac mentioned that it takes about 5 days voyage. So it's very ideal. We will have economical, cost-effective solution if we can serve the LNG coming from Bontang. And also, in terms of the economical purpose, as you may know that from the previous slide, that Indonesia also has the Gorontalo project, so we can combine in terms of shipping. So not only to serve in Gorontalo, but also in the southern part of Philippines, it could be give more economical solution. Because what I know in Manila, Greater Manila, there is a big demand. So I think we have to have big infrastructure to serve all those kind of demand. Well, this is last slide from me. The key that if we want to have successful small-scale energy project, it takes or it needs to have combination demand with a strong customer acquisition, because we have not successful experience when we develop in Indonesia. So by integrate those demand, the project become viable. And distance and volume wise for small LNG project, as mentioned earlier, to have the economical project, so volume wise is big considered. And proven technology, feasibility is one of the key role for a successful project, for small scale project. This is my last presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mugiono. Is there any questions or comments from the floor for this presentation? All right, well, thank you again. Okay, I'd like to introduce you to our next presenter.